What's up, guys? Greg Hoff from I Like Collectibles here. Persistence pays off. I just picked up a big collection. Check it out. So I've been lamenting about how I haven't been able to find any comic collections as of late. I've been looking around, been posting things online, putting little feelers out there, and really nothing's come into me. Now, while this wasn't a huge collection, it's right in the wheelhouse for the stuff that I'm looking for. Around 70s, 80s, Bronze Age to late Silver Age stuff. And I was able to secure this in a really strange way. Let me tell you the story here. So I see an ad on Facebook about a Xbox 360. You guys may know that I also buy and sell and collect video games for that matter, as you can see behind me. There was a gentleman that had an Xbox 360 and about 6 games. The Xbox 360 said it was broken, the games were in kind of bad shape, but he only wanted $30. We decided on the next day to pick up, and when we spoke a little bit, he said, "Hey, I looked at your Facebook account and I saw that you collect comics as well. Well, I have these old comics that I want you to look at too."
Give me a hell yeah!
Okay, great, I'll be there anyway. Actually, I had my child with me and went over to his house the next morning, walking up, not thinking that too much, thinking that I'm going to get an Xbox 360 and some broken video games, so I didn't really think too much about it, but it worked out a little bit better than that for me. So when I first got there, he brings out a big box of comics and says, "Here, take a look through these." I was also going to list a Nintendo Wii, so I'm going to go get that stuff together and see if you're interested in that too. I said, "Oh, great, that's works for me. I buy Nintendo Wii's too." So I started looking through all the comics and I realized there's some really cool stuff in there. Most of them are 1970s books, a ton of these Golden Key Twilight Zone books. So I'm going to go over a few of them with you guys so you can kind of see. I'll put some information up right here too about some of these books that came in this collection. But again, these are Twilight Zone books from the 1970s. Now, while not all of them were in bags and boards, there was about, I'd say maybe 40 to 50 Twilight Zone books here. Pretty cool. So I'm going to go through some of these because they don't have bags and boards. Hold them up. These some of the early ones were from the 60s. Like I say, 70s, 60s, and some are in the 80s. Some of the other books that I got. So, kind of go over. You can see 12-cent cover price on these. And again, I'll put some closer up pictures for you guys so you can see some of them, and I'll go over some of the information about the books. Now, many of these are lower grade. They're not bagged and boarded. I haven't bagged and boarded them yet, as you can see. But there you go. That's about what I got. So real quick, I'll flip through them here so you guys can see what is here. I'll have all these bagged and boarded by the end of the week. Pretty cool little collection here. And last, I'll show you some of my favorite pieces from this collection. But this is as a kid, I was huge into Twilight Zone. I watched Twilight Zone, I watched Alfred Hitchcock's Presents, and later on I watched X-Files. This is something that I did with my father, as probably many other people my age. I'm about 40 years old, and I'm guessing many other guys my age, and girls for that matter, watch stuff like this with their parents. So this takes me back. This is awesome stuff. As you can see, it's a pretty sizable stack of Twilight Zone books. I have quite a few of these, but I've never gotten a stack quite like this all in one. How cool is that? Now, while many of these don't carry a whole lot of value, they are cool, and because of that, I feel like they are undervalued. Twilight Zone was an extremely popular television series and comic in the 1960s and 70s. This would have been my favorite though. Check this out. A lot of you know I've done a video on this talking about the Whitman variants. This is a Whitman variant Twilight Zone, 20-cent cover price. This happens to be issue number 55 from 1974. Put a little information about Whitman variants right here if you don't know about them. Ding!
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
And last and surely not least of this collection, these were two of my favorite things. These are Cherry Pop-Tart books. A little risque, so I'm not going to show you the interiors of them. The covers are very suggestive, so I'm going to stop at this. I do have these videos marked as not for children, but still.
So y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband.
If you have your kids in the room, get them out. So here it is. This is Cherry number 7. These are both first print books. Cherry number 7. This book is from 1988. $2.50 cover price. That's how you can tell that it is a first print. It is not a reprint. It's also not one of the later reprints that they do today. And Cherry Pop-Tart number 2. Another cool, very suggestive cover. But again, these books are heavily reprinted in the modern era, but you can tell by the pricing on them that these are the original. Also, the interiors, the dates are right as well. So these are actually first print, and both of them are about VF copies. Got to be happy with that. So here's some more information about those books. Pretty cool. And a cool little fact about these books, they've actually been banned on eBay. So if you're looking these up right now on eBay to say, hey, how much do these go for? You're not going to find them because they do not allow these on eBay. Now, a few do slip through the cracks. When you search on eBay, search for Cherry Pop-Tart, click the sold listings, and you'll see a couple of them squeak through. But these books typically go anywhere from about $25 to $50 a piece. So they actually do have value. If you see these out in the field, grab them. So yeah, circling back to my first thought of the video, persistence pays off. I thought I was going to get a bunch of video games, which I did. I got a ton of video games as well. I got some projects with that because, like I said, some of that's broken. But got a big stack of comics, and it is a fun one. Again, 1960s and 70s Twilight Zone books. Look at that. I'm going to be bagging and boarding as soon as I'm done here. Obscure books that you don't see too often. So might be hard to find those at your LCS. That said, support your LCS. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Sorry it was a short one. I'm going to try to get more videos together. As you guys know, if you follow me on other social media networks, I got a ton going on. Check out my YouTube shorts. I love doing those. Those are a lot of fun. I get a lot of good feedback from those. Until next time, have fun, stay safe, buy comics, buy collectibles. Bye. Oh. Bye. See you guys.